TheorySabers.com. Bane was a really ruthless guy. There's an excerpt from the novel that I really want to talk about, and I think it's pretty insane. Sit back, relax, leave a like, and I hope you guys are really enjoying these lore videos. Now, we see hints of this level of animosity and basically his philosophy on mercy in general earlier on in the book. The hints are from Bane's mining days when he was Des. The brutality of Apatros gave him no illusions about kindness. In the mines, weakness meant death. There were no second chances. This perspective only grew stronger as he entered his Sith ranks. And on the battlefield, hesitation cost lives. So for Bane, mercy wasn't a virtue, it was an indulgence, so to speak, that invited ruin. Now, this passage here is coming from a wounded Sith acolyte during the campaigns on Ruusan. The young man was fatally injured and he begged Bane for help, and here's the passage. "Help me, Lord Bane," the apprentice whispered, clutching at his boot. Bane lifted his foot free and answered coldly, "My name is Darth Bane." Then he brought his heel down, crushing the man's skull. Now, this moment really kind of crystallizes Bane's outlook. The apprentice wasn't just weak, he symbolized everything Bane despised about the Brotherhood, begging for mercy, clinging to life when he had no strength left. The young Sith revealed himself as unworthy of the dark side. By killing him without hesitation, Bane wasn't just ending a life, he was purging weakness from the Sith. Notice also the symbolism of the line, "My name is Darth Bane." This is more than arrogance, it's a declaration. Mercy belonged to Des, the miner who was once enduring abuse and dreamed of escape. Darth Bane had no place for it. Crushing the apprentice was a way of affirming that truth. This rejection of mercy ties directly to the Sith code, that Bane interpreted its words literally. Through passion I gain strength, through strength I gain power, through power I gain victory, through victory my chains are broken. Where does mercy fit into this? Nowhere. Mercy breaks the chain of passion and strength. It interrupts the natural cycle of struggle and survival. To spare someone weaker was, in Bane's mind, to cheat the dark side of its judgment. It was to allow weakness to fester where it should have been cut away. His duel with Sirak at the Academy also reflects this philosophy. After suffering humiliating defeats earlier, Bane eventually returns stronger, fueled by his training under Qasim and his own rediscovered confidence. When he finally defeats Sirak, he doesn't hesitate to kill him. The Brotherhood would have accepted mercy. The defeated student could have lived to fight another day. But Bane saw no logic in sparing a rival. Mercy would only allow weakness to endure, and in Sith terms, that was treason against the Sith code. Bane's attitude towards mercy also exposes why he despised the Brotherhood under Lord Khan. Khan's vision of equality wasn't just political weakness, it was mercy disguised as philosophy. By trying to make all Sith equal, Khan was sparing the weak, protecting them from the natural order of conflict. To Bane, this was a betrayal of the dark side's essence. Sith who couldn't survive the crucible of ambition didn't deserve titles, armies, or influence. They deserved to be destroyed. What I find interesting is how this connects to Bane's later creation of the Rule of Two. The rule wasn't just about secrecy or survival, it was also a direct rejection of mercy. One master, one apprentice, no armies, no weak links. The apprentice would either surpass the master or die. There was no mercy in that cycle wherever or whatsoever, only strength through conflict. This philosophy also serves as a very sharp contrast to the Jedi. The Jedi valued mercy, believing it reflected compassion and balance. Bane saw this as hypocrisy. In his view, the Jedi's mercy was weakness cloaked as morality. They spared enemies who would rise again, and they preached compassion even when it blinded them to the dark side's presence. By embracing mercy, the Jedi left themselves vulnerable. By rejecting it, Bane believed the Sith would always remain strong. There's a subtle echo of this idea in the films. For example, in Return of the Jedi, Vader's act of mercy towards Luke, sparing him from Sidious and destroying the Emperor instead, marks the breaking of the Sith cycle. It's the first true rejection of Bane's philosophy after 1,000 years or more. Mercy in that moment ends the Sith lineage. For Bane, this would have been the ultimate failure. It's also worth noting that Bane's hatred for Mercy wasn't entirely abstract. It was personal. His father had shown him no kindness, only cruelty. The mines had offered no compassion, only oppression. His peers at the academy offered betrayal, no loyalty. Mercy had never saved him. It had only betrayed him when others withheld it. From that perspective, rejecting Mercy wasn't just philosophy, it was survival. By the end of Path of Destruction, this philosophy defines him completely. When the thought bomb wipes out the Brotherhood, Bane doesn't mourn. He doesn't pity their arrogance. He sees their destruction as justified, a cleansing of weakness. The Brotherhood of Darkness had been purged, as far as the Jedi knew. The Sith were now extinct. Bane intended to keep it that way. To Bane, the Sith weren't dead. Weakness was, and weakness, in his eyes, always began with mercy. Hope you enjoyed this lore video. Please leave a like if you did. Check out theorysabers.com for all your saber needs, and I will see you in the next episode right here on Star Wars Theory. Until then, remember, my fellow Jedi and Sith friends, the Force will be with you always.
Now,